Welcome back to another episode on the Fanorax channel, and today I'm going to talk about something that not much people are familiar with, which is the reality of owning a Minecraft server. I've been managing servers since 2014, from small private servers, mid-tier servers, and major network servers. Today I'm going to show you what it takes to make a profitable Minecraft server and give you an in-depth look on what I experienced from my struggles and to my successes. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for updates on new videos. Now let's get started. So we all know we need a hosting service to run our server on. There are tons and tons of servers to choose from, but which one's the right one? And the answer to that question is, it depends on your budget, how serious you are, and how many players you expect to go on your server. I do have a couple of recommendations in mind, and those top two choices are Apex Minecraft Hosting and Bisect Hosting. I've personally used Apex for a long time and they haven't disappointed me. Their customer service is excellent and offer ultra low latency for players all around the world. Their multi-craft panel is easy to navigate and they offer great hosting packages at reasonable prices. Apex hosting services typically cost from $2.99 to $59.99 a month, offering $3.74 per gigabyte. Bisect is a great host too. I haven't used it for any of my servers, but a couple of colleagues of mine that own servers as well have said great things about it. Bisect hosting is very custom, offering services if you're plugin heavy or if you're player heavy, and will offer the optimal gigabytes of RAM you need. Bisect hosting services typically cost from $2.99 to as expensive as $239.52 a month, offering $2.99 to $4.99 per gigabyte, depending on if you choose the budget or the premium route. Bisect is great if you're running high player and plugin counts. Most server hosting sites only offer up to 16 gigabytes of RAM as their biggest package. Bisect and Apex are the best hosting services if you're running a serious and dedicated Minecraft server, but if you're on a budget, I would recommend Shockbyte. Shockbyte has great deals for their packages for as low as $2.50 per gigabyte. For an example, if you're running a 10 gigabyte server, you'll only need to pay $25 a month, which is crazy. Keep in mind that there are other amazing hosting services out there that probably have better deals and performances, but these are the mainstream hosting services to go to. Now that we have our hosting service selected, now we can get into the hard work that goes into making a server. Creating a public server can take weeks or even months to make, depending on how many features or the type of server you want it to be. SMPs or vanilla servers are easy to make compared to a network server, such as servers who offer minigames like Hypixel and need multiple servers per minigame they have. Managing plugins into the way you want them to work can take days to understand and configure properly. Even building decent spawns can take time to build, and it can cost hundreds of dollars to have a professional builder build it. Once you're done configuring your plugins and got your spawn, builds, everything sorted, now you gotta test things out to make sure everything works properly. And I can guarantee you're gonna find a whole heck ton of bugs, even when your server's live. When I recently opened my Elysium SMP server, there were loads and loads of bugs that need to be fixed, and it was overwhelming. But don't worry, this phase ends in about a week or two, but it takes a lot of commitment and time to maintain your server. For me, I was on my server at an average of 4 to 8 hours a day, making sure there are no bugs and that everyone's having fun. To make things easier, I recommend making a team of trusted staff members where you can delegate certain responsibilities to players that help manage your server, so you can help expand your server as well. Typically, you'll have your admins, moderators, developers, and helpers, and it's a great system to help manage your server. When you have your team and your server ready to go, you're going to ask yourself, how am I going to get players on this server? Getting players on your server is going to be one of the most difficult things you're going to encounter. There are so many methods of getting new players on, and it really depends on your budget. If you have a higher budget, the two best methods of getting players on is either getting a sponsored slot on a voting site or even partnering with an influencer. Usually on voting sites, you bid to get the top 5 to 10 slots, and it can cost you thousands just to get on the board for a month. Depending on how close you are to the number 1 slot will determine how many players will join your server. Influencers are probably a better choice in financing if you're in a newer server. Some influencers, such as YouTubers or Twitch streamers, offer partnerships or even just a flat rate to make a video about your server. If you decide to go in this route, I recommend partnering with influencers who are in the 5,000 to 100,000 subscriber area. The more popular the influencer, the higher it's going to cost you. Depending on the influencer you partner with can cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. You will get a bunch of players in that way, but after the partnership ends, you'll only probably get to keep 15% of the players that the influencer brought, since most of the players are loyal to them. If you choose to go in the free advertisement route, you're going to need everything you can to get from voting sites to possibly making YouTube or Twitch videos yourself. It is going to be way more work for you, but the best part is you're going to get your own group of loyal and dedicated community. There are also other forms of advertising your server, such as going on forums, using Google Ads, and there's definitely other methods that I'm not aware of. So now we have everything ready to go: our hosting service, staff team, advertisements, and our server. But the big question now is, how much is everything going to cost? Well, to answer that question, it depends on what you do. So if you go into the voting route, your minimum bid is going to be at least $500 to as much as $8,000 just to get your name on the board for a month. On top of that, if you get a YouTuber or a Twitch influencer that's around the number that I was talking about earlier, it's going to probably cost at least $400 to as much as $15,000. These numbers may seem a little crazy to you, but go check out a voting site and check out their past sponsored bids, and you'll be shocked how much money these players are bidding just to get on the top 10. So if you want your server to grow as fast as possible and have unlimited amounts of money, you're looking at around $900 to as much as $23,000 a month, covering content creators, creating content, getting sponsored slots, and server maintenance fees. I know we don't have all the money in the world, so if you're just looking to have a 2 to 16 gigabyte server, it's going to cost you around $3 to $60 a month if you go with Apex Hosting or the budgeted version of Bisect. If you go down in my perspective, I currently bought a sponsor slot at a bidding price of $661, and I got 8th slot out of the 10. My server is 16 gigabytes that costs around $50 every month with my hosting service. Plus, if I partner with influencers who have 5,000 to 50k followers, I'll probably have to pay them at least $600 to make content about my server. Overall, for this month's dues, I paid up to $720 to maintain and expand my server. Since I can't keep this up forever, I'll have to cut my sponsor slot dues and just pay my upkeep at $49 a month. And now you know the real cost of owning a server. These high monthly costs do look intimidating, but let me assure you, if you have an organized, fun, and unique server, you'll see players left and right donating to keep your server alive. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoy my content, feel free to subscribe and hit that like button. Until next time, guys, see ya.